everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbie. So today I have a special review for you all. There's something that I wanted for a really long time, and oh yeah, we're going there today. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the Kimber Micro 9 in a more in-depth review. I do have the Kimber Bel Air. I also have the Kimber and the rosewood with stainless steel finish, so we do have both of these. This one is not mine, so I'm not really gonna use this one to review. I'm gonna use my own to review because this is the one I actually use. But just to kind of show you what this one looks like, in case you are interested in the one with the rosewood finish. Now Kimber has so many different finishes in the Micro 9. Kimber also makes these micros in a 380 ACP if you're interested, but of course I went a little bit more stopping power, so I went with a 9mm. Now to start off, you always want to make sure your gun is clear. Here's the magazine release. As you can see, this is going to be for right-handed folks, and it is not ambidextrous. However, you can purchase this ambidextrous if you want to use the sapphire finish, which is going to start at about $1,000 and work its way up from there. But just to show you, it is clear. There is nothing in there. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice when you pick up this piece is it is going to come, and I hate to say it, but it's going to come in a box like this. And this is what's really gonna suck about this gun, and I'm not trying to bash Kimber, I actually really love them, but this is just the one thing that I don't prefer, is that if you notice, this case has one pouch in it. That means that there's only a pouch for one magazine, because that's absolutely correct. You only get one magazine when you buy this. And you would think that because you're paying that much, you're gonna get at least 2 magazines. Wrong. You will not get, you're not gonna get 2 magazines, you're just gonna get 1. Now, of course, you can always go online, you can purchase more magazines. The magazine that this comes with is not this one, this is the extended. See that? This is the extended. This is the one that actually comes with. I have my defensive ammo in there, see how much smaller? As far as the price point on these, for the Bel Air and for the rosewood, they both, we were able to pick them up from like $500 to $600, I would say is a reasonable price. I've seen this go for like $800. I think that's too much. Look around for a better deal, definitely. Now I am gonna dry fire this because I wanna show you all the trigger pull, which I think is just amazing. And from what I hear, it's something that a lot of 1911s are known for, and this is basically just a mini 1911. Let's go ahead and get into this trigger pull. So, safety off, okay. So, notice me pull the trigger here, and as you can see, there's a really defined wall, and it stops right there. But if I pull back more, it's gonna be this really crisp trigger pull. Listen to it. See that? And that's what I like. I pull my finger back to that wall and I make sure I'm aiming at the target correctly, and then once I am, then I pull it, and it's just so short and it's wonderful. Some firearms I've had, I feel like I'm pulling forever. Now it does say that the trigger pull is about 7 pounds, but when I've seen other people review this piece, it actually comes out to a little bit over 5 pounds. So despite what they tell you on other websites, it is actually just a little bit over 5 pounds, which is very easy, very reasonable. Now this is a stainless steel slide, and this is an aluminum frame. And as far as how this piece fits in my hands, I do have medium to large hands for a female, and I have really long fingers. So that was one of my main concerns, is I didn't want to I want a very small concealed carry, obviously, but I didn't want it to be so small to where my pinkies are hanging off of it. So let's go ahead and, actually let me just unload. Okay. There's nothing in that, but this is the one that it comes with when you get it, and I'm going to show you how it fits in my hands. Right there, like that. And my pinky does not hang off. Now this is a 3.1 inch barrel. It's 4 inches tall, 6.1 inches long, and it is 1 inch wide. See, it's pretty slim, and it weighs a total of 15.6 ounces when it is not loaded and does not have a magazine in it. This is the back strap it comes with, and as you will notice, there is nothing on the front here, so you would think that your hands are gonna be slipping off when you're doing your target practice, but actually this back strap I've noticed works very well, and I feel like when I put my hand on it to do my target practice, it's very secure and my hand is not going anywhere. Now after you shoot about 200 to 300 rounds at the shooting range, you do start to really feel it right in here, and it starts to kind of get to you a little bit, but I really think that's with any piece. You know, once you're shooting that much, it really does start to get to you. But I was also concerned because of these grips, because they're smooth, that, you know, my hand would be slipping and everything, but that is just not the case. This back strap does wonders. Now I do think that there are other Kimber Micro 9s that have a more rugged finish, that I believe do have more rugged grips here and also on the front. So if that's something you're really concerned about, you can definitely look into that. Of course, the prices will change. In my opinion, this is really all I need, and I've never had any issues at all with this slipping out of my hands. And when I go to the range, it is about 100 degrees and it is outdoors, and I am sweating like you wouldn't believe, and I still have a really firm grip on this piece. So that is just not an issue for me at all. Another thing I want to talk about as far as the grip goes is there's this beaver tail here that kind of conceals the hammer, or I guess goes over the hammer like so. So when you are holding on to the piece, it just contours really nicely to your hand and just kind of secures it in there. You don't have your hand rubbing against the hammer or any of the mechanics or anything. It's all just really snug in there. It's like it was just made for you. These sights are 3-dot sights, and I am sorry, this is just not the best quality there, but as you can see, there they are. I actually really like these sights. The only thing that could potentially be better than this is if I had those Pro Glow sights like the tritium, which I actually do have in my Springfield. These sights, I believe, are steel and dovetailed in there. Another thing I want to talk about, which is an experience I've had with my Springfield XDS that I was just talking about, is that on that piece, the slide is so hard to rack back. I feel like I need the strength of 10 men to do it. Now on this, it's easy. Anybody can do it. Super, super simple. Now, because this is a single stack, it does only carry 7 rounds. However, it is only 1 inch wide, which is gonna just make it very great to conceal carry. It's very slim. Of course, this is just my opinion, and you guys have to find what works for you, but I am taking this off of me right now to show you. I went to the Well Armed Woman. I am not sponsored by them, although I wish I was. Holla at me, Well Armed Woman. And I got this underarm holster, and it just fits so nicely in there. I got the subcompact, like that, and it just fits great. And then when I am wearing it, nobody can tell that I'm wearing it at all. I wear it near my, I think you would call it like the solar plexus. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture of myself right now. And this is where you can see how I have the piece on me. And then here I'm going to show you with my shirt down, so you can see that you cannot tell at all that I am wearing this. Now I do have the advantage of having a larger chest, so it actually does kind of help conceal a little bit better, but I know there are women who are just, you know, normal size, and they can still easily conceal this. So that is another reason that I really wanted to get the Kimber Micro 9, is because of the concealability. Something else I want to talk about is the safety on here. When you conceal carry, if you're ever presented with a self-defense situation, you have to really think about if you're going to want the safety on or carry it around with the safety off. Say if you had the safety on and a self-defense situation ever presented itself, you would have to do this. Did you hear that? Now that could alert the bad guy that something's going down. So if you want to be kind of incognito and not really make any noises, if you ever had to defend yourself, that is something to think about, okay? It definitely makes a pronounced snapping noise. Something else I want to talk about are the magazines when you feed them into the piece. So as you can tell, both of these magazines have this little lip right here. I just want to warn you all about this. When you place the magazine in your piece, be careful not to just slam it in with your hand there, because it is going to catch your skin. So what I do is I kind of hold my hand out a little bit, like that, and then I snap it in. So just be careful not to let this snag your hand. Okay? Kimber is known for having tight tolerances, and because of that, a lot of people complain about jamming issues and that kind of a thing. I will discuss that in detail later on. Now, as far as my experience with the Recoil, this is a snappy piece. I have a 9mm as well, and this 9mm shoots like butter. I barely feel the recoil on it. It's amazing, but it's also a full-size piece. Because this is concealed carry and the barrel is only 3.1 inches, it is gonna be a little bit more snappy. It's gonna have a little bit of kick. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a video of me shooting it so you can see what the recoil experience is like. Now, all that being said, it is manageable. This part I'm a little bit nervous about because I am not great at doing this. We're gonna try to do this together. I'm gonna show you how to take down the piece. I have a little tool here to help me. And what you're gonna do is, okay, so safety off. Obviously, before you do this, make sure it is not loaded. You don't want that, that's very bad. And there's no magazine in it, okay? So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna grab it and you're gonna start sliding this back. Now I do wanna show you this. On this side, there is a little button right here. Right here, I don't know if you can see that. That button is gonna come into play. I'm gonna name this the button. So when I say the button, you know I'm talking about this right here, okay? So, you're gonna slide this back. Like so. And then there's a little crescent right there, and you want it to go over this like kind of half moon part, like that, so it's open. And then when you do, you're gonna push that button, okay? Push it. Some people use their fingers, I use the tool because it's just, I don't want to break my nails. There you go. So when you push it, did you see that fall out? This piece fell out. This piece normally goes right here, and my hands are gonna get a little bit dirty, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna put this to the side, and then you're going to slide this forward. Like so, there you go. So here we have the frame. Okay, here is the slide. The spring is very tight, so when you're working with it, please be careful because it will pop up and hit you in the eye, or it will fly across the room. So just carefully remove it. Very careful. It's not so bad to remove it, but putting it in is like so difficult. Okay, so here, I want you to look at the spring. This is a flat spring, which is, they use it because it's supposed to help mitigate the recoil as opposed to like a regular spring. And in here we have the barrel. And this barrel has a beveled edge. And that's what that looks like. So that is how you take this apart. And here are all the pieces together, okay? That's what it's gonna look like. Now, that was the easy part. Now we're gonna put this back together, and it's a little bit more difficult. Of course, for me, this isn't a deal breaker. It's just something that you have to do it a few times to kind of get the hang of it, and I am definitely still trying to get the hang of it, so just don't judge me, people. We're learning together, okay? We're learning together. So you're gonna put the barrel back inside like so, okay? And then, this is the really tricky part. I'm gonna put this frame to the side, is trying to put the spring back in. So first, we're gonna go ahead and put this back into the spring, okay? And if you notice, there's like a little crescent half moon shape there. Okay, that is going to go, this little crescent half moon shape is gonna go facing down. So you're gonna put this in the other hole. And then, like I said, this spring is really tight, so when you're doing this, try to kind of put your hand over it just a little bit. That way it doesn't pop up and hit you in the face or fly across the room, okay? So you're just gonna push this in as best you can and try to line it up with the barrel. Oh my God, we got it. Oh, thank God, okay. All right, so now we finally got this spring in. I'm sorry, all this was freaking horrible, but don't let that scare you off. Once you do it enough, you will get used to it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So now what we're gonna do, okay, there we go. Now, there's something very important I wanna show you. On the back of the Kimber, there is gonna be a little hook right here. So when you're trying to put it back together, you need to push this hook down. See that hook right there? You need to push that down, because if you try to slide the slide back and you don't push it down, you're gonna break that. Which is why I grabbed this tool here to help me. So some people use their fingernails, that's fine, but if you need a little tool, you can grab it too. Okay, once you have that little mechanism pushed down, you should be able to slide it back all the way. So now, the other part is you have to put this piece back in. So you're gonna move this over just barely, just a little bit. Okay, so we're just gonna move this a little bit here. You just see that? I'm just sliding it just a little bit. The pin is gonna go in this hole, like so, okay? And then we're gonna try to pop the pin into like this little hole right here, but you have to move it over just a little bit. And it should fall right into it. And there we go. So now here's the slide stop and slide it back. There you go, it should catch it. And it is finally ready to go. Whew. Okay, so I'm here at the shooting range. This one right here is my target, right here. And then this is what I'm shooting with. I'm shooting with my Kimber Micro 9 Bel Air. I have 3 magazines. Let's go ahead and talk about these pieces, okay? The big question is, do I recommend getting a Kimber Micro 9 for your concealed carry? Have looked at all of the other subcompact pieces out there, 9mm and up. Actually, initially I bought my Springfield XDS Mod 2 because I wanted to conceal carry it. Then I realized it is just too darn big, okay? I needed something a lot tinier that would not print through my clothes, so that is why I decided to go with this. I took it to the range. The first magazine I ever shot through, which was only 7 rounds, jammed twice in the first mag. Second mag, jammed another 2 or 3 times. And by that point, I was really regretting my purchase and I didn't know what I got into. I was thinking basically, I bought a piece just for looks and there is no functionality, but I don't get it because Kimber is supposed to be really highly recommended. Kimber is supposed to be one of the best manufacturers out there for firearms. Why am I having so many issues? Shot this one too, same issue. Nothing but basically just jam central. Actually, let me back up a little bit. What I was using to shoot through this was Winchester White Box 115 grain. So that night, when we went to the range and had all those issues, I came back, did the research, it said clean it, great. I called Kimber too. Kimber said, what type of ammunition are you using? I said, Winchester White Box 115 grain. They said, okay. We've gotten tons of calls about that type of ammunition and we do not recommend it. Try using higher quality ammo. They recommended like actually I might have it here, hold on a second. They said this should work. This is 124 grain. They said this will be fine. We cleaned the pieces and we started using higher quality ammunition, and when we did, we started having much less issues. I will say the last time I took this out to the range, I shot about 250 rounds through it, and I had about 4 failure to ejects. So like 3 to 4 failure to ejects out of 250 rounds isn't too bad, but I do still get a little bit worried about the reliability of these pieces when it comes to concealed carry. Now, if you're watching this with children, go ahead and cover their ears because I'm gonna gossip with you a little bit about this piece. This piece, just to kind of break it down for everyone to understand, it's like when you have that perfect boyfriend. He's beautiful, he looks good, you know, he's great on paper, he checks off all the little check boxes on your list of what you've always thought you wanted in a man. You know, you're excited to show him off to your friends, like, ooh, look at my new man. You know, you want to introduce him to your parents, like, look, I'm doing good in life, I got a new, shiny new man, you know, and you're really excited about it. And then you take him back, you're in the bedroom, and all of a sudden, he just can't perform. I really can't believe my video is going there, you guys. This is all going downhill. But this is like this piece, okay? It looks great. It's what you've always wanted. It's what you've always thought you wanted. But sometimes it has a little problem, okay? So what you gotta do is you gotta keep it clean. You gotta tell it it's pretty. You gotta give it a little TLC, a little lovin', you know, and then it'll perform for you. But you have to basically stroke its ego a little bit. You know, these are not some regular gun. This is a high maintenance gun. It wants to know it's pretty. It wants to know it's loved. It only wants the best. You can't feed it no cheap stuff. You gotta feed it the best. You learn to deal with it. You learn to love it. You learn to give it the high maintenance things it needs. And when you do, it will love you right back. But if you don't do it, it's gonna complain and it's gonna give you problems. I hope that this helped you all get to know about these pieces a little bit more and also help you make your decision if you are considering this for a concealed carry. And with that being said, don't forget to share, like, comment, subscribe. I hope YouTube doesn't take this video down or demonetize it because it is dealing with this subject nature. But you know, if it does demonetize me, please show your love by leaving me comments and telling me how much you like this video. And with that being said, I will talk to you all later. Actually, I'll see you all later in my next firearm review. So yeah, take care everyone. Bye bye.